Part 2 of this is basically that was our last night in Cambodia, full stop. So next on the list is Vietnam, which Vietnam I love. It's absolutely amazing. I wish we had more time there, but sadly we just had to squeeze other things in the same trip. Basically, we got held at Knifepoint on our way to Vietnam. What happened was we got picked up from our hostel and we were given a ticket each, just to say that, like, I don't know, like any old ticket, like a train ticket or a plane ticket, you know, that sort of thing, for this minibus. Then they took us to the capital in Cambodia, which is Phnom Penh, which in the nicest way possible isn't always the safest. Like, there was quite a lot of suggestions to not be out past 8 or 9 at night because it can get a little bit sketchy. We get there at 1 a.m, which is like not when you want to be there at all. They basically came up to us and said, oh yeah, like, where's your ticket? So hand them over, and they were like, oh no, you need 2 tickets, one's for you, one's for your baggage. And these were the guys that gave us the 1 ticket in the first place. So I was like, what? Like, you personally gave us 1 ticket each. And he was like, no. And he was getting very sort of like shirty and aggressive. And Tom was just sort of like, oh look, let's just leave it, let's get out of here. And I felt like I was being wronged, so I was like, you know what, no, like, I'm not having this. Like, what are you trying to do here? Are you trying to mug us off? Obviously, my Cambodian language is null, and their English isn't great either. I started getting a little bit het up with it, as did he. Tom was sort of like in and out trying to decide what to do, and then his little cronies, his little mates, started like getting around us a bit, and he was like, no, we need ticket or you basically F off. And I was like, oh, like, this is taking a bit of a weird turn. And then literally out of his pocket, he's got this like little blade, and I was just like, this isn't good, that's not good. And he was like, ticket or money? And I was like, yep, fine, money, there you go. And he was fine. And then someone ran off our bus that we were just on. The reason we were in Phnom Penh, was because it was like a transfer. Like, you go to Phnom Penh first and then you go to Vietnam. It's just kind of like a hub place for like road travel. Someone runs off our bus, basically screaming, shouting, saying, oh, I've just had my phone stolen, just had money stolen. And the guy who stole it was the bus driver. The bus driver literally had been taking people's stuff and then just doing a runner, and then someone else was taking over. Like, the company that were running the bus were also connected to organised crime. Like, it was so bad. It was really, really dodgy. Quite scary. Bearing in mind, me and Tom were cramped, as you can see, in this little compartment in Vietnam, in this like little, I don't know what it was. It was a bus, but it was just like a little Harry Potter sledge area where you both cram in. And obviously Tom was like 6 foot something, and I don't know, it was just cramped, it was horrible, and we both stunk, so it was really rough. But yeah, that was definitely really hairy. Eventually overcame that, as we always do, and then got on the second bus. We basically just had to bribe our way on. Didn't sleep a wink because we were so scared and worried. Got to Vietnam about 5 in the morning. Were held at the border for about 4 hours. I don't know what it was, but they just didn't let me and Tom through. It was just, we must have just looked dodgy or something, but they didn't let us through at all. Looking at our passports and giving them back and taking them away again. I don't know whether it was just the process or what, but everyone else seems to get a lot quicker than me and Tom. And eventually got through to Ho Chi Minh, and then after that, things started to pick up again. But in terms of like the 3 or 4 days we were there, pretty hairy, to be honest. Some of it our fault, some of it not. But yeah, I guess the lesson to be learnt from it is always be vigilant, always sort of make the right call, always prioritise, you know, your life and safety over your possessions. Try not to get drunk to the point where you're buying everyone drinks and you don't actually have any recollection of it. Plenty to take away from it, really. And I probably should do some information videos on this sort of stuff, and I will. So stay tuned.